All right, everyone, we are back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, chief host of the show, and joining me is none other than my co-host, Avira.
Ау! Добрый день, товарищ. Как вы поживаете?
Have you on board again? Every always.
That means good day. How are you?
Yeah. Here it's pretty nice out there in Russia. Here things are going.
Да, я тоже так думаю. Это очень интересно.
Mm-hmm. Bet on it. All right. Next on the show, we have Noble.
We got a good story for you guys today. If you're a cyclist, enjoy.
I think there's going to be a lot of wrecks happening, eh?
Yeah. Let's grab an ostrich egg.
Good choice. I'm going to get myself, a lot of meat to go along with it. Speaking of, I don't know what goes good with ostrich eggs. Can you make a recommendation?
No idea, never had one.
Fair enough. We'll come up with something. Don't worry. And then that leaves us with our next host, Styfior.
Hello. Back to the No Bells Bitch season of the podcast.
Going strong since 2022, or should I say towards the later end of 2021.
Going even better since the crash of the railroad. The bells are out of commission now.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, you had to go there.
Yes. Oh, God.
It works.
You look right
It's good.
today.
Or, as I said last week, I am still the better and bluer of Vera.
Oh, shut up. No, you're not.
That's it. I can believe that because "quote unquote" science told me that was the case.
Exactly. It's all
That's what
about
everybody
science.
has to trust these days. Trust the "quote unquote" science.
Exactly.
You know. Otherwise we wouldn't be. Yeah. All this stuff. All right. So, what have we got for you? Hey, there's a lot to get through. Let's start with this. Variety reviewer Courtney Howard praises Pixar's Turning Red as unapologetically horny.
And the screenshot they used for this is just priceless. Look at him. He's like, no! Shit!
Pretty
What, isn't
sure the panda is actually a woman.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
yes,
female,
that's
but
right.
isn't it supposed to be a child from what I saw in the advert?
That's right.
Oh
It
my
is a
goodness.
child. It is a red.
Well, it's very startled by their expression.
Mhm. Oh, and because it is a red panda, I am obliged to start, a chain of the sound they make. So,
Wish we would have
No.
had Sage on for this.
Even worse. No.
I'm with you. Making it even worse. But I do have a way to make him laugh on demand.
Oh God.
So, shall we? Shall we get ourselves a white chain? Just say what? There we go.
I'm too dead for this.
Just say why in the deadest voice you can muster. Like, whoa.
What?
Wah, wah, wah.
Mm.
There we go. It looks. I just want to say I'm surrounded by zombies, and I
Ugh.
was one friggin' a couple of days ago because of all this miserable stuff I've been having outside. Too much rain
just-
floods.
Part of my plan to convert everyone to the dead.
So, what do they mean by unapologetically horny? What's going on here?
See, as soon as I saw that title, I immediately thought, one, it's a kid's film, and two, from what I see in the trailer, that is a child. Please don't tell me people actually think this.
I'd say after that whole, what was that movie that was released recently, just slapped onto Disney Plus? But those two little boys that were sea monsters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that one.
Luca, I think.
Yeah,
That must be
Luca.
it. And now,
Yeah, one of them
you
was
know,
like a mermaid or something. It was kind of weird.
Disney's no stranger to doing, mermaids and merman. Look at what they did to Sora, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
But anyways, with this stuff, like the premise of turning red is when a 13-year-old girl, Mei Lee, poofs into a giant panda when she gets too excited, which for a teenager is practically always. And
Right. So I think, yeah, that because of the way they've worded that, I understand now where the titles come from.
yeah,
Yeah,
and,
it's kind of sunk in.
Yeah.
and in a way, it's basically like what they're describing is a not so subtle metaphor for puberty.
Mhm. But that's the thing. I could have sworn the trailer didn't show it as excited. It showed any reaction of emotion. Not just excited. And they're saying, oh, that always happens for teenagers. It's like, oh, you've just made it awkward.
You know, the red quote unquote it says the red panda is a metaphor not just for puberty, but also what we inherit from our moms and how we deal with the things that we inherit from them.
So
Really?
women turn into giant red pandas.
Yes.
Or I should say, red pandas are actually naturally hormonal. Or
I'm sorry, but it sounds like they're really taking the piss out of women in this.
I think when you have these people direct these, don't they usually just stick to their own lived experiences and then just work the movie from there?
I thought they were more going for let's set an ideal and just beat it into the ground.
Oh wait, is that her? The one in the middle?
I think
She already
so,
looks
yeah.
like a red panda.
Well, she is,
It's Sage.
I think you basically described that on the dot. If that person was eternally in puberty and still hasn't gotten out of that phase yet, sorry, but we love you, man. That's the brutally honest truth I gotta say. Anyway, now this is when so one woman, Courtney Howard, did tweet that his movie is unapologetically horny. Now, what do they mean by that? She says horny. Yep. Courtney Howard says they lean all the way on teen girls' hormone-driven expressions like boys, boy band crushes, etc. Just wait till you see it. It's a delightful surprise how they arch their honor teen girls' raging hormones.
So basically, it's a girl growing up through puberty, but it's got to be labeled as horny because it's a female.
I'm wondering why she's turning into a fucking panda. Like, huh?
Curse thing to do with the family.
Oh goodness. Of course. It's just-
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of that stuff, like these days, what makes girls hormonal these days, right? Boys like Justin Bieber and shit.
Justin Bieber.
Oh, well, I haven't been a teenager since friggin' 12 years. So, blame me for being out of the loop. Oh well.
It's kind of a strange preference preface for a movie, right? Like, you turn into a red panda for expressing emotion? Huh?
Yeah, that's definitely a weird one.
And I don't know if you guys noticed, in the article it said she was a Chinese Canadian girl in between both worlds of East and West. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on here.
Like, do you want to embrace the, your cultural, the way you've been culturally raised up, traditions, or do you want to, follow that of your, like when being an Asian and moving to like a more, I guess, westernized country, that's I can semi relate to that. kind of like. I mean,
Yeah.
believe it or not, I can't really speak too much of a lick of Indonesian, if I'm being really honest with myself. So, yeah. But again, this is definitely like what you would describe as a coming of age story. But again, why they gotta put it into this way?
It's a weird way to word it. I don't think this article is doing the movie actual like justice. It's unapologetically horny. No, it's not. Look at her. She's a freaking panda.
Yeah, this might also be a take at the whole furry thing.
I mean, knowing Disney, you know.
So Disney have gotten the grips on Sage. They've seen what he's like.
Actually, he was the inspiration for the mood board for the for the script. But but they had to put a goal around it. Anyway, that's really besides it. But they chose a character and they just chose that what's so. So,
how do you think this fits in with the Pixar theory? You know what that is, right? The whole Pixar universe, it's all connected.
Oh, right.
This could just be one of the side things as well.
Maybe.
And there's more. There's actually more to this than that. Turning Red crew was unapologetic about including real conversations about periods.
Okay, they're using unapologetic again. I don't. Okay, so they're talking about periods. What?
Okay.
Why?
I really don't think I'll be supporting this movie whatsoever at this point.
Now I get it.
About that though. What?
Now I get
I
the
also
title.
think-
Turning Red.
We really should have had a woman on our podcast for this particular story because.
Why do you insist I bring Ali in?
Is this rated G or PG?
Potentially.
We've got a Vera. That's female enough.
Oh, fuck you. No, seriously though, like, is this movie like G rated? Is that what it's supposed to be?
I think these days G-rated movies are like basically few and far in between, and instead wouldn't they just go for a PG label?
Probably.
So, like, yeah, I would say if I'm really being honest, just make it a I'd say PG is pretty much the most accurate descriptor for this.
Oh god, wait a minute, I just realized something. Okay, so the movie is called Turning Red, and they're talking about periods. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah. Why do you think I was laughing about the title? Of just literally
Everything basically comes full circle now.
No, it shouldn't. Come on.
Were white, now they're turning red.
Oh, stop it.
All right, guys. Your plan to have a female in the group in this conversation is wrecked. Ali's not interested. I don't want to be part of this weird conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. Moving on.
I'm not going to comment much on this because I feel like I'll just be shoving my foot in my mouth.
Yeah. That just sounds like a whole lot of weird.
I expect certain degeneracy from like the furry community, but Disney is starting to get to that level at this point. Just without all the like direct comments.
Well, I gotta say though, at least they have an original movie that they're doing. They're not doing another reboot or rehashing or reimagining or whatever the crap.
Pixar, not Disney. It's a different company. It's a company that actually pulls their head out of their ass half the time.
I thought Disney owned Pixar.
Yeah, they own it, but it's not them. It's like bloody Marvel and Star Wars. Disney.
Well, yeah, they also own Fox and Marvel, all that shit. I mean, Disney has their hands in everything.
The good news is you won't ever have to get this because it's coming onto Disney Plus, and even then, I still wouldn't want to. Disney is the furry community now that says no dragons, please.
Well, yeah, I think they realised the target audience isn't kids anymore. It's just furries.
You know, friggin' Zootopia wasn't like that much of a signal. I don't know what is.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, seriously. Like they knew, suspiciously wealthy furries will watch anything with furry characters in it.
Yeah, and now the other studios are playing catch up. You know,
And now my mind is starting to be broken from this ideal. For God's sake.
and even then, the Japanese are starting to also catch up to a certain degree as well.
Well, it's starting to become a lot more mainstream. Like a lot more people know what furries are, and I guess a lot of companies are kind of just, jumping on that bandwagon. Like, oh, how do we make more money? I know, let's pander to furries. Of course, that'll do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it kind of works.
that's, like games have been doing that, movies have been doing that. Build a Bear did that. Like low key tried to do that.
Oh yeah.
hmm So if there's money to be
So-
made, you bet they can pounce on it.
Pounce. So, are you guys excited for Turning Red?
No.
Oh.
Nah.
It's not something I can say I relate to. I mean, even if I had my own, if I had a daughter, I'm, not sure I'd show it, watch it with her.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine that either.
Well, all I'm just going to say to my end of this is thank you, Ali, for your comment.
Oh yes, yes, that was very good.
It's too hot to touch. Well, guess that's that. But moving on from the awkwardness of what should obviously be a conversation for girls, except that now it's just four dudes making talking about it. So
Yeah.
what the fuck? Next item that we have is a study. Meat eating extends human life expectancy worldwide.
Okay, so just before we continue on with this, if you're vegan and you're a cyclist and you want to rip your shirt off and start pounding at your flat chest because you're all thin and shit, yeah, this is going to kind of send a message to the people on the other side of the table to that. So just be aware you're only making yourself look even worse.
Oh, and also, if you want to go and bring out the protest signs in front of your local butcher, yeah, you might want to think again about that.
Knock yourself out, but still just remember the message you're sending.
Yeah.
Aren't
So-
cyclists like a problem in Australia? Like they're really annoying.
Here's the thing.
I wouldn't
you have
say
to take a
annoying.
very nuanced view with cyclists because, on one hand, they're that, but that's partly because the infrastructure for cyclists hasn't been so well developed for them to cycle safely on roads.
Ah, I
I
see.
Yeah,
That's
and the second
changed.
reason why I've taken, somewhat of a less harsh stance on cyclists is because, study urban planning. Look at cyclist havens like Oulu, Finland, or even Amsterdam, and it actually might work better for traffic. If the purpose is to take cars off the road.
Okay,
True.
there are a decent amount of cyclists out there, but specifically there is a group or set of individuals who are more extremists. They take very aggravated, angry, and they will physically assault you. They will punch you, they'll hit you, they'll kick you.
Whoa!
They
What?
feel that, you're in the wrong. This is
Right.
also happening in places like England as well. So it's
Really?
not here in Australia. Well, there was this
I mean-
stupid prick going around with a stick, shoving it in the face of motorists who were too
No,
close to
don't
him
say.
while he was out cycling on the road. It's like, dude, you're on a bicycle in a fucking road with vehicles that can turn you into a pancake. I mean, shit.
Whoa!
But like I said, it's not all cyclists. It's just the minority of individuals and somewhat small groups that want to turn around and make you feel guilt.
All depends.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I guess I've
but
been watching too much of Isaac Butterfield. He really does not. He's got a whole spiel about that shit. Anyways, back to meat.
Back to meat. Yeah, that's This isn't really a conversation about cycling and biking. That's a story for another time. Back to meat. Yeah, has eating meat become unfairly demonized as bad for your health?
Yes, it has. Fuck vegans.
Well, at least they attempted to.
Also, and then there's the whole, eating meat is bad for the climate.
Got to get rid of them cow farts, right?
Well, yeah. Mm.
Oh, and there's also a certain old dragon who detested.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah. as soon as this story popped up, I was like, "Oh yeah, I wonder what he's going to end up turning in his fucking ditch because of that."
Well, this is very interesting though, because it says the results are in that eating meat still offers important benefits for overall human health and life expectancy. Yeah, that really shouldn't be a surprise because humans are omnivores and eating meat is linked to like brain development. So yeah, sure, that makes sense. I mean, meat's great.
The important thing here is, and where a lot of people fail at, is the amount that you consume. So, for instance, myself, I do eat a number of vegan type meals during dinner, but when I initially tried this a few years ago, it really fucked with me. It was not healthy. So to start off with, what I found is if I eat a normal portion, which isn't like a giant ass fucking leg size steak from a cow, I'm talking like a portion about the size of the palm of your hand.
Yeah, reasonable.
I found eating that 3 times a week, 4 times a week, I'm fine. Mentally, I'm stable. I'm not freaking out as much, and generally I feel better. And then during the rest of it, I have some of those alternative options just to try to broaden my diet a little bit. But to turn around and to just plow this into people thinking that it's going to, sexually arouse their body and make them better is just ridiculous. Going completely vegan, I mean...
Hey Neville, how are your soy moves? I'm asking for a friend.
My what?
Your soy moves, because you love eating the.
I don't have any. I came from eating too much when I was younger. I mean, fuck, and they're starting to shrink at least.
I think as long as you have a healthy balance, between like meat and fruits and vegetables, grains, it should be fine.
And if you eat like the artificial meat burgers, the vegan burgers or vegan patties or whatever, you get soy moves.
Disgusting. They smell and taste like vomit.
I've tried a veggie burger once in my life, and it was not pleasant. I mean, if that's the only option you have, I mean, I guess, but it was like eating a pancake made of like spinach. Like it was odd, and it was very, very, very salty. Like I think they were trying to like season it to like mask the flavor, but I'm pretty sure I got high blood pressure from it.
There are a whole bunch of different types of actual types of burgers, but
I'm sure there's some good ones out there for sure. I just haven't had one.
Some are better than others. I found one particular brand which is getting a real pain in the ass to locate now. That tastes really nice.
Cool. Well, I was actually watching a video on YouTube about like how to make like I guess vegan burger, if you want to call it that. It was made of like bean paste and stuff, like actual beans and rice, like you ground them up and stuff. It actually looked pretty good.
Disgusting.
Hey, beans are all right.
Well, beans are fine.
Like no replacement for meat though, because meat's great.
Exactly. A fucking burger's supposed to be a fucking burger.
That's true. Yeah,
I mean,
okay, you're right.
Take it from the chef. Stop. Just stop.
Time to stop. But anyways, to get back on it, but the study is in a way correct. Like, meat, it's been found, meat of small and large animals provide optimal nutrition to our ancestors who developed genetic, physiological, and morphological adaptations to eating meat products, and we have inherited those adaptations. So
That is true.
Yeah, we as a humankind in all its as a society civilization grew on eating meat, eat meat and all that for their own for their own survival.
Ooh. So we have an interesting comment here from Quartz Resonance. He says,
Oh, go on.
Yeah. Our school gave us Boca burgers when we were kids. They were like Mexican food flavored sawdust with corn chunks. I got sick from it. Oh, damn. Seriously, man? Yeah, I think that's when I had my first veggie burger. It was at high school, actually. It was something similar to that, but it was like spinach inside. Yeah, there was some corn, weird crap, like ground up carrots or whatever. It was nasty shit.
I do have a question though. What do you guys think that the obsession with hamburgers are and vegan sort of changes? Trying to change.
I think it's kind of like how the LGBT community wanted to take back the word queer. Vegans are like, we want to take back the burger and make it like a veggie burger or something like that.
I don't think that's the purpose of it. I think their whole thing is rooted on the defiance of like the natural order.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's basically, yeah, I guess so. Like they just want to make it their own, right?
What I would like, they're currently selling mince as like a alternative to meat. What I'd like to see is a mini little steak, something sizable for a normal adult. I'd like to see those sold in the shops, not fucking meat patties and bloody mince, because just no.
Not even that.
Traditional.
I'll tell you now exactly what needs to happen with this vegan food. Stop calling it sausage. Stop calling it burger. Stop calling it meat replacement. Call it something else. Meat is meat. Vegan food is supposed to be going away from meat, so stop trying to copy meat.
Yeah, dude, exactly. I don't know if you saw this on YouTube. There's like an ad that's been going on for a product called Just Egg that's made from plants. Have you seen that shit? Like they show them like cooking with it, and like, oh, it's just egg. It's eggs, but it's made from plants. I'm like, then it's not fucking eggs. No, it's stop calling it eggs. It's not. It's not a just egg. Like that's so misleading. No, it's made from fucking like vines and shit. Seriously, just egg. That's what they call it. What the heck?
Yeah.
Like here, basically, just as a marketing thing, Hungry Jack's basically calls their Whopper burger the Rebel Whopper. You see that, Noble?
Yeah, there's a bloody Burger King near where I work.
Yeah, like the vegan thingo, the vegan replacement is called Rebel.
Wow, it's so edgy.
I know, right?
To go and grab one myself, but when I saw the price, I'm like, fuck that.
Exactly, And that also comes into things like with purchasing power too. Like, because that also affects, people's decisions to buy meat or that sort of thing. It's like, it's a bit odd, right? Like they always charge a little extra for that fake, vegan shit. At least in the shops I go to, or in the, or even if I'm going to a commercial restaurant. They like give you that option, and then you like put in a little extra.
Why would you pay extra for something that's not real?
Right.
I don't get
it. And I think it's so. And I have a feeling this vegan stuff is just more for affluent, for like the more affluent kind of people, like it's probably like cashed up liberals.
Yeah, exactly. Live in like Beverly Hills or Hollywood or some shit. Silicon Valley. Oh, I'm going vegan. Oh, me too, indeed.
Yeah, like I guess in my case, there's like I went to the capital of Australia, Canberra, and I found and out the side I found like a vegan restaurant, and I just saw like some like I said, it confirmed my stereotype: affluent, cashed up people.
Yep, that's it. Totally.
Well, the problem is these people are going by information that they're being provided. Versus, looking out to see everything. And we get studies like this.
Yeah, so let's check out some of the quotes here from the study. It says, while detrimental effects of meat consumption on human health have been found in some studies in the past. The methods and findings in these studies are controversial and circumstantial. Dr. Yu says, senior authority of the study, University of Adelaide. Is that Adelaide?
Yeah. And that was the quote I said earlier when we had an
Right,
adaptation.
right. You mean small animals, right?
And so basically, what I want to say about all this is, again, like on the controversy of it though. Why go through this? Why go through the pain of trying to push, a meat substitute? Like with the controversial results again.
Now,
there
correct
must
me
be
if I'm
the
wrong, but
agenda.
I don't. Is it possible that people can have like an actual allergy to meat? Like it's impossible for them to consume it? Is that a thing, or do people just choose to not eat it?
No, there is a thing that you can get. I think there's like a spider or something that will bite you, and you basically can't eat meat ever again.
Whoa! What the hell?
Yeah, I think that's
Seriously?
mainly red meats that it affects you with. But yeah,
So
Hold on.
if
You got bitten by a spider, and you can't consume red meat anymore?
a particular species of spider. So if you ever wanted an excuse to basically eradicate spiders, you've got one.
Yeah.
Oh my! Wow. Okay, that's pretty bonkers. I did not expect that. I'm wondering if like crazy activist extremist vegans will make like spider venom blow darts and try to vaccinate the population. No meat for you.
Can you imagine the
Yeah,
implications got caught
like
trying to do that sort of shit? Or if they
I
was
could,
successful?
yeah. Fucking like eco terrorists, they're like spitting blow darts at people, trying to vaccinate them against the red meat. Like, good lord.
We're not Captain Planet and the Planeteers. I mean, we're not down to that level of insanity.
I don't know, man. The world's pretty bonkers lately. I wouldn't put it past him. I feel like if Vegan Gaines found out about that, he'd probably be on board.
Yeah,
He'd probably coat his machete with spider venom.
That would be something else, Now the spiders are just gonna rock it. Now I'm just gonna have a quick look at I've got access to the study, and so with you can see from this chart, with from some of the statistical figures, the some of the life the life expectancy in the figures, let's have a look child mortality with all variables included. There's a higher number, our number, and if you exclude meat, there's a lower number. See 0.0703 without meat, 0.726 with meat and all other variables, and the life expectancy for children with meat and all that 0.566 of the R squared number, I guess statistically, and the lower number with meat excluded. So I guess what it's trying to say is when you include meat, into the lineup of your dietary lineup, it basically amounts to growth, a long, prosperous life.
Eating like a 10-pound steak in a single sitting by yourself is really not healthy.
No.
Well, 10-pound steak, I don't know.
When you especially from that age, when you have children, you put in small amounts and you include meat into their diet when they can ingest it.
Well, yeah, I mean, protein, has to, humans need protein to survive. Without that, you don't grow muscle tissue or anything really.
Well, you can get protein from plants. It's just not as effective.
Yeah, like seeds and stuff like that. Soy, tofu. Wait, tofu has protein, right?
Apparently.
I think it does.
But don't quote me on it. Man, I remember that stuff tasting like shit.
What, tofu?
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of, I like tofu in miso soup. It has a nice texture to it, but it doesn't really have much flavor.
When you have it by itself and unflavored, it is literally off-putting.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's nasty.
I used to only buy the flavored shit, and that was good-ish, but still, it just.
Yeah, but
So, what kind of meat were they studying in this? Was it like just red meat, like beef or something?
yeah, it was just basically as a general correlation between meat consumption, ra- and inclusion of meat rather than excluding meat from the diets.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
at the end of the so I guess what I wanted to say at the end of the day is that, as the study points out, including if you add meat into incorporate meat into your diet, yes, it's basically going to amount to having a higher life expectancy. So
Yeah, it sounds about right.
yeah, and then we're gonna not count all the other factors that that come with excluding meat, like like soyness, mental issues, and you know, and
Soyness.
liberalism.
Yeah, there you go. Find a
Just,
cure.
just to be clear, when I say I had how to put it the right way,
Big old
when I
titties.
wasn't eating meat and I was trying to go full vegan, something was wrong. That's all I can say. I didn't feel mentally stable at the time, and I just had it was not sustainable long term for me. So I'm not trying to be the edgy sort of it causes. I was finding it mentally straining. I also found out that I had a vitamin D deficiency, and my doctor helped me with resolving that issue. It's still a problem, but
Right.
it not eating beef or any other meat products just exacerbated the problem. Something shocking.
Yeah, that's something I was gonna talk about too. Um,
So if
People
you
that do tend to be either like vegetarian or like full on vegan, they do have to take like additional supplements, to provide like vitamins, B12, vitamin D, C, stuff like that. Something that they can't really get from the foods that they're currently eating. So they have to like, supplant that with different like medications, vitamins, and stuff.
Hmm.
Which will be really stressful and kind of annoying. Like just eat a fucking burger, like really. You're not killing the animals, all right? They're already dead when you get them. So
do what I do. Today I spent about $40 at the butcher, and I bought myself 2 giant ass steaks. I divided both of those steaks up. Each, I think I got about 6 dinners worth out of each of these steaks. So that's
nice.
12 dinners I have going forward. I also bought 4 lamb chops and a couple of sausages. That should last me all up, with the vegan stuff in between, maybe 2.5 months. Especially since I also have a TV dinner every now and then, depending on how quickly or how late I get at home. You create, shake things up a bit. Don't just have the same thing every day, which I used to do, which was just terrible.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I guess to conclude this stuff, what do you think? I'm sure as heck I'm not going to give up meat anytime soon.
Oh, never. No way.
It took me too long to figure out my stability, and I'm staying with it.
Well, the thing is, like, the reason I was asking, like, what type of meat they were studying in this, I guess, beef or red meat, because, like, I eat a lot of fish. Like, that's my favorite type of meat to eat. So I don't know, like, how that scientifically would be any different than, like, land-based meat. I don't know.
Yeah, like or when you add things like chicken, poultry, and stuff.
Right. Yeah, birds and stuff.
Yeah, but either way,
Interesting.
this is what Dingoes did in the past for all these generations. We're sticking to it. We didn't come this far to regress.
No, well, I mean,
no, we didn't come this far to progress.
yeah, right.
Unfortunately, with the way people are today, we are just basically progressing.
But you know what I find really scary and disturbing are like these vegan activists who feed their pets only vegan food. See, that's dangerous, especially with cats too, because cats are straight up carnivores. All right, they don't eat plants. They're not supposed to.
The fun part is like when they try to boast about their feats on on TikTok or whatever social media they do, the animal just goes straight for meat.
Yeah, the animal gets sick from eating the crap that they're. Yeah, exactly, dude. I saw a video about was some guy that had 2 cats, and him and his wife, and they were like, "We're vegan, and we only give our cats, plant-based vegan food." And these poor cats, man, they looked emaciated. They looked so sick. And yeah, given the opportunity, give them a can of tuna. Like, holy fuck, these poor cats, man. Why are you giving them carrots? Right? That's not cat food. The heck? Like, they're carnivores. All right, this is not how it's supposed to be. Like, they're trying to fuck, I don't even know. Put their human values on animals. I'm like, dude, like, do you know how to take care of a cat? Seriously?
I think it's also goes against their innate nature. That's what these vegan pet owners and thingos are trying to do. But
it's animal abuse, man. It's messed up.
For another time. Again, like, we're just looking at this from a human scale of things.
Yeah. Sorry, tangent. But vegan, yeah, fuck that shit.
All right. So, next item. Avira, want to take the lead on this one?
I would love to, yes. So, as you guys have probably heard of, if you've been a furry for a while, there's this website called Howler, which is basically a dating app for furries. It's been around for quite some time. It's a hookup application. However, starting tomorrow, actually, it's going to no longer be online. It says here in the Flavor article, on the 26th of February, furry hookup app Howler will be shutting its services after delisting its services from Apple and Google Play application libraries. It was announced by the mascot of Howler Lab, Sushi. In this message, he encourages furs to move to a new social application, Bark, B-A-R-Q, social, as a replacement. So this is kind of upsetting because, like, I know a bunch of my friends have been on Howler for a while. They've met friends on there. It's not always a hookup thing. Like, sometimes people just use it to make friends. I know a couple guys that have done that, but Howler's been around. Let's see, but now I guess they're moving to Bark Social. So let's see what's going to happen. It says in the next. Oh, sorry, yeah.
I guess this thing was based on the whole, grinder thing that, an app that's pretty much tailored to, this kind of thing, isn't it?
Right. Well, this is more of a niche thing for furries specifically. It's not necessarily about straight or gay or bi or anything like that. Mostly just furry hookups, which is rather convenient.
Yeah, but also really strange.
I mean, yeah, but considering the name though, it's a cool name. Like they had their marketing down pat. Like Howler, that's kind of cute.
Yeah, it just kind of lines up and it's like, it just tells everyone, oh, look at me, I'm a grinder, with an sort of spoof off with the name.
You heard it here, folks. Jolt's on Grinder.
Have you guys ever used Howler before, or anyone?
No,
I've never used anything, mate.
Okay. Well, I haven't used it either, but I know people that have. So let's see their full statement from Mr. Sushi here. It says, "Hello, dear users of Howler. We are pleased to see new alternative to Howler emerging with Bark Social." So I guess they're doing that. It is everything you like about Howler, but better and more actively developed. We encourage you to join the beta, report bugs, and help us make Bark the best app for our community. So I'm wondering why they had to change. Like, they had to get rid of Howler and make this new Bark thing.
Is it one of these that was in drama last week?
Wait, there was some drama?
Yeah, it was last week because the whole fucking pup gear thing.
That's true. Yeah, there was a debate about whether or not pup gear is like kink or fetish gear, which, let's be real, it is. Like, if you're wearing a pup hood in public, I mean, a fucking leather face, looking pup hood, like, bro, of course it's sexual in nature. It just is.
Allie, would you like to make a statement?
She doesn't get a say in this because she'll say it isn't when it is. It is.
No, like, it's fine if it is. That's just, I mean, you do you, but don't be out in public doing that shit.
Exactly. Don't throw a hissy fit when a statement, like a factual statement, has been made. It's a
Wasn't there something crazy that happened like a week
I had a
ago where it was
statement
like two pups in like the
regarding
White
that.
House?
Actually, now that you mention it, I've got a statement, and I'll bring it up right now. Ali says no. I believe it's fetish gear.
See,
So
It is, yeah, it
told
is.
you.
It clearly is. Come on, like
that's
it's not a
something I want.
fursuit.
Yeah. Anyway,
Like if you were in a fursuit around, like that's totally different.
right.
So maybe
let's bring up, go on.
No, sorry, you can finish what you were saying.
I'll bring up the statement first. So have a look at. We get a lot of questions. Barcap was asking, we get a lot of questions about why photos with puppy gear are moved to the After Dark profile. The reason is that we consider it fetish gear and thus After Dark. We understand that it can be worn in a non-fetish way, but currently we will treat all photos the same. Sorry, puppies. So.
And this is coming from Bark, right? BARQ, that one.
Mhm.
It says, "Will this stay forever? We will evaluate on this policy in a short while. One
Oh,
solution to this problem could be to not allow puppy photos as primary profile pictures. This is something we are discussing. Eventually, it will be probably fine if you upload safe puppy art to your profile, as long as your profile is not only containing puppy art. Same goes for fursuit photos with harnesses." Oh, that's a good. I was going to mention that too. Oh, yeah, harnesses are definitely fetish gear too. I see that shit around cons a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not as like blatant as wearing a pup hood made of like leather and shit like that, or like
But it's still obvious.
rubber, But yeah, there's definitely a lot of like harness situation. So I wonder if they're gonna allow you to wear like a harness in your profile picture. Is that what they're discussing?
It sounds like that's what they're saying there.
I think they're basically going to cordon that off to the 18+ section, After Dark, as they were saying.
Which is interesting because if this is like a furry hookup app, then isn't that kind of like the point?
Wait.
Exactly.
Bark is a bit different. Now, Bark is taking a whole different direction now.
Right.
If you read the YA section, they say, "We are a community for the furry fandom, focused on furry art, fursuits, and the user behind the sonar." In some cities, cases, I don't know what they're trying to say, but over half of the users will show up with a puppy mask as a primary photo. This makes our users uncomfortable and gives the idea that our user base is only consisting of puppies. At this stage of Bark, we do not want to send out this image to the public and to our users.
I mean, I gotta say though, they called themselves Bark. It's kind of on them at that point. Like, what did they expect?
Yeah.
Like a furry hookup app for Bark. Well, maybe not entirely, but
it's more like they're rebranding themselves as kind of like a social app.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. And that's what I was saying earlier about Howler. Like, that's how it sort of came into. Because I have a bunch of friends that use Howler, but they don't even use it to one night stands or whatever. Like, they just use it to make friends, and that's kind of what it turned into.
Yeah, and now I guess they kind of just went into the sanitized sort of way. All right, first off,
no pup hoods though. Shit.
Live comment. What's Resonate says. All right, live comment.
Oh.
Question about harnesses. I first found them through He-Man art. What were they used for before they were fetish gear? I always thought there was some sort of battle armament or something.
No, actually, they're using rock climbing a lot.
Yeah, a harness is a harness. It's supposed to hold you up and keep you safe.
Either rock climbing or if you're working like in construction, like on buildings and stuff like that.
But jumping a harness.
Yes.
Right. So the whole idea is like when you're hanging from a harness, it's supposed to like distribute your body weight in a way that doesn't harm you.
Yeah.
It's a safety device too.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I guess
but a lot of furries wear it.
What he's looking for, what I guess you're looking for in historic use, Quartz, is what were they used for behind, battle armaments? Probably when they needed to put the scabbard behind their back or something like that along those lines. And it's kind of a common thing-ish with, I guess, with certain fantasy tropes, like with barbarians. They basically go into battle shirtless with harnesses that support things like their shoulder pads.
Yeah, they can clip weapons to it and shit like that. And the whole idea is it redistributes your body weight so it doesn't snag or cause harm or anything like that. But a lot of furries have been using harnesses for a while. Like, they make all kinds of custom looking ones, which is It's still pretty kinky though. Like in that context, it is.
Really depends on the context too. Like I guess in the historical context, it's more like a support, thing. And I guess in the modern context for like work, it's a safety device. With
right. Well, I've never seen any rock climbers or construction workers wearing leather pup hoods. I'm just saying. Never saw it.
That. Yeah, please don't.
Okay.
Anyway, were you about to say something, Noble?
Yes. Second Life. There's been a number of clubs on there, furry particularly, where they're stating that people with certain avatars are no longer welcome.
Oh wow! Really?
Yes.
What kinds?
Unfortunately, there's a fair few furry avatar, or a small number of them, where they're more childlike.
Oh, like chibi or stuff like that?
No, chibi is something different, but when I mean childlike, it's pretty close to childlike.
Oh, right.
And yes, no dragons, please. Second Life is still a thing. It's dying, but it's still a thing.
Wait, so you mean, do they use like anime characters or something?
Some, yes. Others, So it's a good thing to see that there are clubs going around actually specifically stating that. The micro community has also been under a bit of a sort of banning hinge, because apparently some people were trolling with them, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
There's always going to be something going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then that's also why I'm wondering now, is this why that Howler is shutting down? All the press is on Bark at the moment, so no one seems to care about Howler anymore, so they've just decided to either merge or just shut down.
When groups such as Howler, or companies or groups or whatever, such as Howler and that, they generally have to start taking a stand on what's accepted and what's not.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
definitely.
They have to ask what direction they're going into, and I think this is more, again, as we kind of discussed, like more like a social, community-based sort of thing.
The thing is that people, not just trolls, but people who are genuine in their statements, find more acceptance if people don't fully comprehend that they're being truthful. And this is the sad thing, is that you've had too many people go out. It's like with the puppy thing. It's not just disturbing to some people, but it's traumatic to others. If people were more responsible with their behavior, this sort of thing wouldn't be a problem, is where I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
So with Bark, is this a social platform that's for 18 plus only, or can anyone join it?
Good question.
I would say I'm not quite sure about that.
I know Howler is 18 plus, or at least it's supposed to be.
See,
I don't know about Bark though. See, maybe that's why they're cracking down on this, because what if like there's 15, 16-year-old kids like using the Bark app and they see all this fetish shit. That might be a problem.
I say that should not be allowed either way. I still say have two separate groups. The whole thing itself should be 18 plus, because there should be no underage people trying to socialize with other people that are older than 18. But a lot of time, people over 18 just want to socialize as friends. They don't want to see your fetishes. They don't want to see this, that, and the other from you. So have a normal section and an After Dark 18 plus section. But as a whole, it should still only be 18s and upwards.
Yeah, see, I don't know if Bark is actually doing that, though. Well, they said they're still in beta, and they're working out the kinks or the bugs or whatever. So, are they?
We don't know yet. And I think at the moment, they know they have like this thing segregated in After Dark or 18 plus, depending. But really, I guess we just need to take a look at what they plan to do. And in this section, I guess what they're trying to do is just create a new furry social app that's just kind of focused for that sort of community aspect, forum aspect, that organizing events sort of thing, and that's like a little less cluttered and chaotic than Telegram.
Right. So another question I have is the same team that ran Howler, are they doing Bark now? Like, I know they said that they're transitioning to that, but like, is the entire team on board with that, or like, did they get new leadership?
Let me have a look at that. No, I think that's the whole thing. They just, yeah, no, they're actually, they're not. They're separate. They're separate.
Oh wow, okay. Interesting that they'd be supporting them.
The Howler team are basically just encouraging people to join up for the Bark beta. That's all. They're just closing.
Okay.
So it's
wow.
Because
that's
the Howler team is I don't know what, but the Bark team is actually run by, Dutch people from the look of things. Like one of all Bark is solely being developed by Wootsuke. I've been developing software personally for over 10 years now. I'm experienced in building high traffic apps for Dutch companies.
Interesting. So you guys want to know like the weird like irony about the Howler announcement? They said they were going to be shutting down their app on Valentine's Day. So February 14th. On February 14th, Howler made the announcement on Twitter. Like, by the way, we're going to be shutting down on February 26th, just so you guys know. Like, really, on fucking Valentine's Day, a furry hookup app is saying this shit? Really, dude? What the heck?
Well, it's a perfect day to announce such heartbreaking decision.
Exactly. Like, any other day would have been fine, but fucking Valentine's Day, man. Oh, come on. I just find that rather amusing.
It is. It's like the biggest thing of irony.
Totally.
Ah well, but I guess that's just really what it is, though. So
Yeah.
I mean, like for what.
We have an awesome comment here from Allie. She says, "As a human pup, never wear your furry gear to furry events."
Your pup, I guess.
Sorry, never wear your gear to furry events. That's why I wear my pup hood and collar to only hotel parties. Exactly. Yeah, reasonable. That's what you do. Sure.
Yeah, like not even, and even then, like like with, I guess with other events too, like general anime cons or whatever.
Well, there's definitely a time and place for things. I'm not sure if you guys remember what happened at Denver. There was some dude in a pup hood and a diaper, literally in the main lobby. Like, what the crap?
I recall that stupid shit being plastered all over the internet.
Like, bro, if you want to do that shit, go to a hotel room, all right? Like, come on. Like, there's like families around here. Like, what the heck, man?
Mm-hmm. All right. So, last comment. No dragons, please. Remember, kids, don't go on Bark unless you want to ooh-woo on your oh-whoa.
Agreed. Yes, agreed.
All right. Seems like we've come to that for this week. What, aside from all that, all the stuff in my own personal life, well, too bad. We learned quite a lot out of this, everything that's just happened, especially with meat. What do you guys think? Just about like this week's stuff. Any closing statements?
I'm going to continue to eat meat as much as possible.
Exactly.
Steak. Beef is great.
The main part of every meal for me is eating meat, because
it's
supposed to be eaten. It's meant to be eaten. It's always been eaten. And if you've got an issue with that, sit on it and swivel. I don't give a shit. Meat is a man's best friend.
Meat is the best meal for men, full stop.
Mm-hmm.
And even women should also be encouraged strongly to eat meat. Doesn't matter who you are, you just have to have meat in your diet.
All right, so closing statements. Noble.
I can't wait until next week is over. I really want to see where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And keep your stupid degenerate shit off the, out of public eye. I mean, Christ, how stupid do people have to be? Ugh.
Reasonable. Snapio?
Yeah, I think it's just people now, with all this that's coming out, need to realize, we have no argument to stand on for forcing people to be vegan. Stop your protests. Stop this, that, and the other. Just stop it. If you choose to put your life at risk to live that lifestyle, do it quietly because no one cares.
Mm.
And will someone please think of the insects?
Exactly.
Bug burgers are next.
You're killing the planet by eating all the leaves. That poor flower's alive, you know. Oh, fucking hell.
And a Vera.
Wow. Well, that was a very interesting study about meat. And rest in peace, Haller. Oranževý собака плохо. Доброй ночи, мой друг.
You are a very bad orange doggo, man.
Yeah, indeed.
Anyway, that's all that is this week. I hope you enjoyed listening to this as much as we did in the making of this video. And as always, remember that our episodes are always available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, BitChute, and more platforms further down the line. This is us signing off for the week. Farewell, and until next time.
See ya.
До свидания.
Boobs!
Jolt's just pressed the wrong button because we're still
Oh
live.
no, don't press the wrong button. We're still live.